I want to take you now to the White House, where Vice President Mike Pence has been speaking about the White House's response to the situation between Turkey and the Syrian Kurds. We'll pick it up at the point where the vice president began. Let's watch.
Briefed and monitoring developments, and has expressed his great concern about the loss of civilian lives and the impact and the destabilizing impact that the Turkish military invasion in Syria is having in the region. And today here at the White House, the President convened a Principals Committee meeting. Recommendations were made to the President. In just a few moments, I'll recognize the Treasury Secretary, who will detail punishing sanctions that have been placed on Turkey. The President also today was very active in engaging with leaders in the region. First, a telephone call with Kurdish General Mazlum, where he received a report about the circumstances on the ground. The Syrian Defense Forces have been a strong ally of the United States of America, and the President was very interested in hearing from General Mazlum about the status of forces on the ground. General Mazlum reported to him that at this point, Turkish forces had not gone beyond the 30-mile buffer zone, but General Mazlum expressed particular concern about the city of Kobani and asked the President to raise that issue directly with President Erdogan and the Turkish government as a great concern of Kurdish forces. The President, after that call, spoke to President Erdogan. President Erdogan reached out and requested the call. And President Trump communicated to him very clearly that the United States of America wants Turkey to stop the invasion, to implement an immediate ceasefire, and to begin to negotiate with Kurdish forces in Syria to bring an end to the violence. President Trump reiterated his offer to mediate and arbitrate a negotiation between Syrian Defense Forces and the Turkish military. And the President has directed me and Robert O'Brien to lead a delegation to Turkey in the immediate future to begin discussions and negotiations to bring the bloodshed to an end. The President did receive a commitment from President Erdogan to not attack the city of Kobani. As I said, General Mazlum had raised the issue of Kobani as of paramount importance to the Kurdish population. President Trump was very direct with President Erdogan on that point and received a firm commitment from President Erdogan that there would be no attack against the city of Kobani. Today, the President also met with Senator Lindsey Graham, who was present when the President signed an executive order implementing a new range of sanctions against Turkey. But again, to be very clear, the President of the United States called on the President of Turkey to stop the invasion, to enact an immediate ceasefire, and to begin negotiations with Kurdish forces in Syria. And the President has directed me to lead a delegation to Turkey to begin those discussions about how we can bring this violence to an end. With that, let me recognize the Treasury Secretary.
All right, we've been watching Vice President Mike Pence speak at the White House. He touched on the planned sanctions targeting Turkey and said President Trump spoke with Turkish President Erdogan and warned him about the country's incursion into Syria. The Vice President also said that President Trump directed him to lead a U.S. delegation to Turkey to negotiate and begin negotiations to, quote, bring the bloodshed to an end.